Yo guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I saw this list online a couple of days ago and I thought it was super cool, so I want to show you guys a 2022 format Altergeist deck profile. Altergeist is a trap deck that's been around for a couple of years now, and yeah, it still floats about now and then. Doesn't really do too well since the game is like super strong right now in terms of the power creep, but yeah, it can still show up at regionals and get the odd win. So if you're not prepared, this is how you sort of deal with the deck and some insight if you've never seen it before. So yeah, so I saw this list online a couple of days ago and I thought I might as well see if I can create it myself and sort of explain the theory, how it works. And I saw one card in particular, which is Dimension Shifter. It's a really strong card right now, probably the best hand trap in the game. Not every deck can play it though. This is one of the decks that could probably play it going second or first and not really hinder the strategy at all. So we'll get straight into it. So quite a few hand traps. Honestly, I think you could probably get away with taking out a lot of these hand traps and just keeping maybe Imperm Shifter, because I think you have to play Imperm because of the interaction with Faker going second. But you could probably play cards like Darkruler No More, Mystic Mine, Sales Ban, which is quite a good card right now, to play around like certain hand traps, etc. So you could probably take these hand traps out, but I think Ogre and Ash is really good against the adventure cards, and this deck kind of loses to the Draco back, so we kind of want to just play these for now until any sort of changes are made, or if a list comes up that's like done really well, we could take some inspiration from maybe a better player playing this sort of deck. But yeah, I've played the deck quite a bit in the past, and this is sort of what I've put together, showing you guys that are still interested in the deck. And it's 3 Imperm, 3 Shifter, 3 Ogre, 3 Ash. This is pretty standard right now. You want to see hand traps this format, but Shifter is definitely one of the best hand traps to play. It turns off most of the decks in the format, apart from Floowandereeze, of course. Yeah, next we play Meluseek, and then 3 Faker, 3 Marionetta, 2 Silk, 1 Conquery. So this lineup doesn't change. I was messing around with Pukari, but I didn't think Pukari is actually that good. And this lineup really is quite standard. We also play Extravagance and 1 Duality. Normally what I do, I side out the Duality, but going first is good for like digging through the deck, seeing your side deck. So yeah, a good option to have for consistency. Next is the Spoofing. Obviously gets around your engine. It kind of sucks this format because you could get Ogred, which would suck, but yeah, nonetheless a really good card you have to play. Protocol, I played the 2 in this deck, but I could side one out or maybe play an extra utility card because it is searchable, and Draco back's in the format, so maybe bouncing this isn't the best thing to do. But also play the 1 Manifestation. 1's fine, you don't need any more than that. 3 Strike, 3 Torrential. So these cards are insane this format, so good, as well as Shifter. So I think this deck can definitely pack a punch if you get the right cards in the hand. Consistency wise, it is fairly consistent. It's more so better going first, going second if you open Shifter plus a hand trap and like Meluseek. Normally that does a lot because Meluseek inherently is one of the better cards in the engine going second. But yeah, 40 card list. One of the only 40 card lists you'll see this format, apart from Floowandereeze. But yeah, this deck can still do stuff. I think always having like Sequidius inherently is a really good card. That bounce, having control of the board is really important for the deck, and it can actually do a lot in certain formats. Not so much this format, but in low ceiling formats, Sequidius is really impactful. I think we saw that in the Tri-Brigade format. This card was really good for bouncing the normal summon, and then use Solemn or Strike or Torrential the second summon, which is the Karuuda normally. But yeah, this deck can still do things. So for the side deck, 3 Nib, 3 Draw. These could change. You can play Lancia, but I thought I'd play these because they're sort of floodgate hand traps. Obviously they're higher impact as well, and you kind of need that for a deck like this that's quite low ceiling. 1 Duster, 2 Lightning Storm for back row. Evenly matched. I think I play evenly matched going second against like any deck because of the interaction with Faker. You can simply wipe the board with evenly and then trigger Faker on resolution. It's really strong. Then Judgment for going first as well. I'm not sure how I feel about Judgment this format. You could potentially play Anti-Spell Fragrance. I think that's a really good call. But yeah, just playing the Judgment this format. And then extra deck, I don't really think the extra deck matters too much. You could play the one effect failure in the deck for the Hulk Selene combo. But it does come up to special summon back one of your spellcasters, because it is any spellcaster. I believe it's not just light. Yeah, especially when spellcasters from the graveyard, so you can special summon back a Meluseek, triggers effects, and then summon Access Code Talker. So yeah, really cool interaction there. Hulk obviously gets us one of the hand traps, which is really strong. Ningirsu is a Dragoon out, and the Anima is just a good target as well. Say if you're under a Rivalry somehow, you could play Rivalry in this deck. I opt not to. You could play loads of Floodgates in this deck, like Summon Limit, Rivalry. Yeah, those sort of Floodgates are really good. I don't think they're amazing right now, but they certainly can work in certain situations. Obviously, these are for the Meluseek targets. And then still playing the Memogrant. This card's okay. I don't think it's amazing, but Hextia is the go-to extra deck monster. But yeah, we play Extravagance, so the extra deck is kind of irrelevant in this sort of deck. But yeah, that is the deck, guys. If you guys have any questions, or if you would like to see any changes, if you even play the deck yourself and you've done well recently, let me know. I'd love to have your deck profile on the channel. And yeah, I've got a deck profile coming tomorrow, guys. That is a Goki regional deck that got X2 at Birmingham Regional, coming 11th place, so stay tuned for that if you want to see it. Also got some more deck profiles lined up, as well as a YCS Japan review coming shortly, so stay tuned, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.